Hey Starseeds, welcome to Starseed Energetics. My name is Ashtara and this is going to be a Starseed Collective reading transmission for 2020, not only for the month of January, but also just the 2020 portal as a whole. And I vibe 2020 as something that you're going to step into. There's going to be a freaking wormhole and then you're going to come out the other side in a completely new experience of life. And I know if you watched my December transmissions last month, I was talking about how I'm going to do like 7 different star systems just as a New Year's kind of ritual. But some things happened. My laptop, I spilled sparkling water on it and now it's like soaking in rice, and I'm on the road in Bali, and my friend Irina is coming on Tuesday with you know, this older laptop that I have just so that I can work on stuff, but at the same time I don't have the luxury to do 7 different readings. So I mean, that's just the excuse of why there's going to be one reading, but at the same time it's obviously meant to be a collective reading for this month. So you know, hope you understand. And this is whatever star system you resonate with. This is for the Starseed Collective on Earth, and you know, it's a unified energy, I guess, for 2020. I hope you enjoy and want to go deeper with my messages. I have a Patreon where you can explore different options of working with me on different levels. Thank you and enjoy. So, as you may know, 2020 is going to be the most powerful that any of us have lived so far in terms of the galactic energy, the convergence energy, and obviously your internal energy of like what's being called forth and what's being activated. So, that being said, I pulled a central theme for you from the Mayan Oracle deck, which is not something that I ever use unless it's like colossal. And your card actually is Ahau, which is insane. So just so you know, this is like one of the only metallic cards in the whole deck. Actually, it's one of 2, and this is the only gold kind of foil. Imagine how powerful this is. This is called the Nagual of the Sun. This card literally talks about stepping into a golden age. So for a lot of you are going to be experiencing the relationship that you have with physical resources, the relationship that you have with this physical density is going to go into a place where it's almost like holographic. It's never resonated with you how flat things were and how dense things ever were, and you're stepping into a place where you understand why you would always not done so well with that kind of dense material structure, because your nature of navigation is ethereal, it's fluid, it's like ever flowing, and that's going to be realized throughout this year. And although this is like a January reading, I'm going to be projecting your energy throughout the whole year at the same time because it's a new beginning. But Aha also talks about, you know, this ultimate triumph over your hero's journey. It talks about that epitome of being the heroic figure in your whatever journey you're walking through right now. So it can be with a lot of different areas that you struggled in the past before finally getting to a place where you're stepping over that and creating your own system of doing everything and being that center of clarity. And this also talks about, you know, if there's any advice for you over the next year, it would just be for you to focus on purifying and clarifying your own light, your own inner light, more so than anything else, and the rest will just kind of take care of itself. But ask yourself, what are your highest priorities in your life? If somebody were to ask you, what are your top 3 values in your life, and you want to make sure that that doesn't get kind of imbalance for other things that matter less to you. So always focusing on your essential priority is the goal. So whatever it was that was too structured for your experience and that you couldn't resonate with, whether that's time or resources, like I said, like money, relationships, everything is going into a place where it's leveled up, and you will be able to see by the end of this year that why it was so necessary for you to walk this kind of transitional journey. So that's your central theme. Couldn't choose a better card ever for the central theme. Embrace the 3 worlds. A deep secret will come to light. Create, activate your own DNA. Achieving self-sovereign spiritual maturity. Imploding space. Motionless motion. So I just recall from my entire, journey of having energy readings on the platform here, how a lot of Arcturian transmissions have always emphasized your need to really embrace the fact that you are the pioneer in how things are done. So it's very different story to get a lot of information and create a system that works for you for a while, but eventually it comes to a place where you need to be so in tune with your intuition, so in tune with your higher self, to a point where each and every single moment is a different kind of experiential navigation through your thought systems and your belief systems and your perception kind of systems. And so you're coming to a place where, because you are integrating the three worlds of, physical, mental, and emotional in conjunction with this source kind of connection that you have, things are going to take different turns throughout this year and this month. And I think the most important thing for you to keep in mind is to not compromise your main priorities, not compromise your main values, knowing that a lot of the variables that hinder you from getting into a space of clarity is actually, really fluid. And from that space of knowing that all the variables are quite fluid, what are the three things that you do not want to compromise at all? And from that space, make all of your decisions. And for the spiritual truth that is unchanging, it is just so inexplicable, or it's not something that can be put into words, but it's just so that the neutrality of your existence, or like the neutrality of your perception, your cognizance, and the neutrality of your experience needs to be, in my opinion, the most important thing out of everything. So it's good to make plans, it's good to make goals, it's good to have a mission, it's good to have purpose, but if you don't have this inner stability of neutrality and equanimity through anything that you could possibly do, then it's kind of off balance. Like, you really have to always prioritize your inner peace. You always have to prioritize your internal state of neutrality, because that's the most powerful place. That's the 0 point field. So even if you have a year that is really, really, really not productive or efficient, in a sense that maybe the physical tangible reality has not shifted so much, not that you're gonna have something like that, because obviously that's not your energy at all. If you have this card, it's really, a lot of things are going to change for the better. It's gonna literally go from like a flat piece of paper with like monochromatic colors into like bam, that's what it's gonna be like. But I'm saying, for the sake of comparison, even if you have a year full of really crappy events and really stagnant progress, if you were able to maintain full equanimity through that, I would personally say that was the best year of somebody's life. And then the inner work that was completed during that year will just literally explode in the next cycles to come. So like I said, it doesn't seem that you're gonna have a boring or stagnant year at all. There's gonna be a lot of really activating sequences of events happening, a lot of different kind of explosive events in terms of your perception of time and space, especially with space, especially with the way you relate to your environment. And I feel that some of you are going to have this incredible experience where all of us are having this experience with time, right? All of us are having this experience of time as an evolutionary intelligent system of cycle that is a living ecosystem, because like obviously a day is not what we think it is, and an hour is not what we think it is. And if you plan throughout the next 2 weeks or next 5 months or a year, it's never actually experienced as we think it is. Time is obviously not a flat thing. It's a living system. And you know, the synchronicity. So I think most starseeds have that kind of understanding about time, but you're gonna have this understanding about space and what it's like to perceive from a place of cognizance when you know that space, the actual quantum nature of space as well. And that includes like material matter that fills up the space, but you're going to have this experiential kind of series of events. And then what's gonna happen, right? You're just gonna be inexplicably more evolved in the way that you deal with reality. And so you're going to be making massive leaps in your consciousness. And then you're going to be activating some DNA or abilities that you like couldn't even imagine being activated at this time of your life. You know, a lot of you are very, very advanced, not just in terms of like, oh, spirituality and whatever, but it's like you just waiting for the right moment. You have just been waiting for the right moment to really unearth what it is that you have the capacity to do, and it's going to come out as the life that you create. And for a lot of people, you know, even if other people can't witness exactly what kind of supernatural powers that you have, that, you know, perhaps you don't feel like talking about it to people who are not ready, but the end of it all, because of the frequency at which you're oscillating, you're going to end up continue to build up a life that if other people just meet you and they see how your life is, like, it's gonna be just as supernatural as you showing them how to levitate or walk through a wall, like, because of the given circumstances at which humans are creating this construct. And you're meant to kind of exemplify that. So, you know, just to say, and it's almost as if you're able to tune into infinite probabilities when you're sitting still, and your human experience is sitting still, but you have this understanding that there's levels of you that are having other experiences simultaneously. And you're also going to learn a lot about how co-creation truly works, in terms of if you choose to invite somebody into your life, even just as a minor friend or a coworker or a collaborator or a client, it's not just what it seems, but you're engaging in a process of co-creation on various different energetic levels. And I think that's what you're learning, and it's going to help you really distinguish what exactly you want to do, and like how things always kind of turn out not exactly the way you think because of the choices you make in co-creation. And it's also going to help you understand why it's important to sometimes deal with people who are not incredibly resonant with you, or some family members who are just completely irrelevant to your values, in terms of how you think and how you view the world, because they kind of provide this vibrational feedback of, for instance, where the rest of the unconscious mind states live. And then it helps you determine what exactly you want to create out of that. Because if you just wanted to do what you want to do and create the world that you want to create, most of us would just probably exist in the void. We'd just be like, fuck this shit, we're in the void. But yeah, we're gonna learn the value. You're gonna learn the value of very, very experiential feedback of why it's important to co-create certain timelines, that you may not egoically resonate with, or that your soul's essence just doesn't even understand. But so that's that. Let me just read a few Thoth deck. Change, as if there was another card that could exemplify this perfectly. So many of you are experiencing change in terms of how you deal with your own, like, chi or life force energy, or even sexual energy, or how you deal with exchanging that energy that is your essence. And even with your sexual energy or your creative energy, vice versa, it's just different expressions of the same energy. But you have to realize that it's very, very, very unique. Your creative energy just funnels through your soul frequency is really, really unique. And that's the value of you doing anything at all, is that it's being filtered through your consciousness, your perception, the deep, different interweaved oscillations of your energy fields. And so understand that is really important piece of why you're so authentic and valuable. Even if you don't think that you're being authentic, you're naturally just authentic. Even if you're just breathing in and out, you're completely authentically light working in wherever you're at. And I think that's the thing, is you're gonna realize why you're drawn to certain cities, why you're drawn to certain places, and not complaining when things don't work out exactly as you planned in terms of where you want to be, when you want to be there, because of that grid point that you're going to start to understand about space. So 2020 will definitely be a year where you understand or can start to work with geomagnetical grids on a very deep level. Victory, Prince of Swords, Seven of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, Hanged Man, Hermit, Prince of Cups. Okay, give me a moment to just like analyze whatever this is. So with this change card being on the central theme and the Hanged Man coming up as the only major arcana in the whole series that I just pulled out, I feel that there's a really thick layer, almost like a snake skin being shed from you, that is completely never been of your own essence. And it comes with this level of confusion, indecisiveness, not knowing what to really invest yourself in, where you want to invest your energy. It's almost like if you're just not sure and you're just holding off your energy on deciding anything at all, even when it comes to like spiritual beliefs. Like a lot of people would just say, you know, I don't know what my star system is and how do I find out, which I really need to make a video on that, but it's just a lot of different layers that I have to like teach my perspective. And so, you know, it's not something I can just record lightly. I really have to plan it through. But most of you, the reason why you're not able to find a clarified answer, whether from your higher self or as synchronicities, is because you're really afraid to commit to identifying with a certain system. And I feel that's with a lot of your life decisions, whether it's with relationships, career, and you know, finances, or whatever it is that you feel confused about, or you're not sure where you want to take to the next level throughout your life. It's just like, do you realize that you have this energy that you're terrified of really committing to a standard of looking at something, or a standard of thinking about something, or, you know, it kind of makes you worried that you're going to be forced into that thought system. Just like how, when you choose to incarnate to the third density, you literally have to work so hard to deprogram a lot of different kind of structures. And what you need to realize is it's never going to be that hard ever again. Like you finished with that cycle, and through this transition, and when people say we're having a dimensional transition, it's not literally like what it sounds like. It's more so that your perceptions are going to shift, and that's the most kind of powerful set of changes that you can experience that will eventually come out in the external reality. But it's not just about, you know, seeing different spectrums of colors and stuff, which will happen, but it's that's not the point, and that's not the essence. Your perception is going to shift, your perspective is going to shift, but anyway, you're going to be coming out of that cycle and really cutting that off in terms of like the snake skin. It's almost like this interweaved a set of coding that is a thick coat that just doesn't fit you anymore. You're finally gonna like rip it off, and you're gonna have a different way of perceiving things and thinking about things. And just being naturally in flow with your intuition rather than being overly attached in an emotional way. And what I would recommend for you to get to acquaint yourself with is the system of the internal family systems, and that's just one way to describe it. But basically getting to know the different sub-personalities and sub-characters internally, so you actually have various different voices internally, and it could be broken down into various different parts of your organs, or it could be broken down into different psyches, like the inner critic or the sage, the inner sage, the inner child. There's so many different layers to it. And so once you get to really know the various different layers of yourself, that would help out a lot in creating this. But there's a sub personality or a sub character that you've taken on completely from an external conditioning in the process of you humanizing yourself, that you're going to literally be able to transfigure into something else. And that's what I see for you happening. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have the most beautiful transition in 2020. I hope that I will keep in touch with you throughout the whole of 2020, because I'm not stopping this anytime soon. And if you really resonate with my messages and my transmission style, you can check out my Patreon, where I put a lot of my deeper work. Thank you so much and love you. See you. Bye.